Welcome to this Hatha Vinyasa flow. Today we will be focusing on adjustments and awareness of adjustments for and awareness of lower back pain. So particularly if this was a particular request, if you find in your Vinyasa practice that you experience a bit of lower back pain or don't know quite how to safely through repetition go into your up dog or cobra or back bends, this class should be helpful to you, and it should be very relieving for the lower back as well. Our theme for this week is to travel life lightly, aparigaha, which is the fifth of the 5 yamas, which are their observances in life. So in the traditional yogic Vedas, we have the niyamas and yamas. The closest example or reference point in understanding them would be the 10 commandments. But they are not like rules. They're more like guidelines for a fulfilling, fruitful, and ethical life. And this one is particularly interesting, and it's been popping into my mind a lot lately, aparigaha. So what this really speaks to is, first of all, not being attached to particular possessions, titles, people, things in our lives. So to really finding a way to appreciate and cultivate and hold close things that matter, but not to become possessive over them, and to not feel dejected or down when they are not maybe in our lives or fluctuate as happens. And the other aspect of this is a kind of this idea of traveling life lightly. So not allowing yourself to get too pulled in and attached to particular experiences or feelings or people or things, good and bad. And so this has been returning to my mind a lot lately, aparigaha, non-possessiveness, because in the last week, there have been moments where I felt like in lockdown, in our state of quarantine, that there's some really beautiful things that are happening and some incredible moments of clarity. And I want it to always be like that. And you kind of tend to hang on and cherry pick these moments and then want them and strive to have them all the time. And that's just not reality. The reality is that the mind state, the moods, and our experiences fluctuate. And aparigaha reminds us to travel through life lightly, to enjoy, to appreciate, but not to become possessive and clingy to experiences, people, aspects of ourselves, and so on. So that's our theme for this week. And let's get going with our Hatha Vinyasa flow, focusing on protecting and learning about how to move carefully through back bends and protecting the lower back, as was a request for today. So let's begin in what's known as the Virasana seat. So to have your legs underneath you, knees together, engaging through the thighs slightly, pressing those thighs in towards each other ever so slightly, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor as well. So feel as though the whole of the seat of the body is quite engaged. If you need a cushion, place a cushion underneath your hips now if your knees are too sore. And then I invite you to take a moment to lengthen and straighten into the lumbar spine. So you want to draw the belly button in towards your spine and then roll the shoulders back. And draw the tailbone down towards the floor. So you should feel immediately that the lower spine lengthens and straightens. Let's release that for a moment and arch the spine, rolling the shoulders back again, but really pressing the solar plexus forward. And let's inhale and lengthen the lower spine and press the tailbone into the floor once again. Let's do that once more. So inhale, arch the back, and then exhale, pressing the lower spine into the floor and protecting the lumbar spine. Perfect. And let's place our hands into the seat of the body, palm in palm. Let's flow through 5 to 10 full cycles of breath in your own time, connecting with your yogic breath. So perhaps you want to close your eyes here. Perhaps you just want to keep them open, but you want to focus on that full cyclical breathing, the full inhalation and exhalation as it falls, the rhythmical inhalation, the rhythmical exhalation. Let that oxygen fill your body, and let the counting and the awareness of these cycles in your breath ground your mind and bring you into the right and fruitful mental orientation to your practice. Let's flow through 3 more cycles in your own time, pressing the base of that spine, the tailbone down into the floor, and protecting your lumbar spine here. As you draw the belly button in, press between the thighs and let the shoulders roll back. Last full breath, inhale and exhale. And then flutter the eyes open, inhale, and bring your hands together. It doesn't matter which one's on top because we're going to swap to clasp your hands like this. And then invert and bring them above you and press the elbows out away from each other as you pull into your hands and squeeze the palms together. And then inhale to come up onto your knees. Check that your knees are underneath your hips, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor, and engage your glutes. Engage your glutes as you lift through the solar plexus and create that same adjustment in the lumbar spine that we did sitting. So that's to draw the pelvic floor down and to draw the tailbone down and then roll the pelvic floor up, drawing the belly button into the spine. So strengthening and almost locking that lumbar spine as you open through the chest and lift through the arms. And now you want to let those upper arms move back behind the ears, and keeping the lumbar spine and the glutes locked, start to open into the upper back. So this is encouraging you to lengthen through the spine and let your back bends be led through a lengthening and opening through the upper back and not a compression through the lower back. Let's exhale to release the hands now and bring them into the small of the back. Let's invert our palms, heel of the hand up, fingers pointing down. Let's engage the glutes and now really bend into the lower spine, but keeping protection in the lower spine as you press your hands into the back, elbows down. Maybe you want to look up towards the ceiling. We'll flow through 3 breaths here. Engage your glutes and press your hips forward. Really feel how, although the hands are keeping contact with the lower spine, how much more compression there is in the lower spine here. Last breath. And then inhale to straighten and bring the hands above the head and find the other grip. So whichever one was on top, the other hand on top now. Engage into your hands, pull the elbows apart from each other, and now draw the tailbone down towards the floor, draw the belly button in towards the spine, roll the base of the pelvic floor up and under, and then start to lift through the chest, and let's move those hands and elbows back away behind the head without compromising the lower back. So don't let the lower back arch and keep lifting. Maybe coming into a really open shoulders here as you lengthen through the spine and don't compress through the lower back. Last breath here. And then exhale to release, bringing your hands forward, palms facing downwards. Continue to lock the lumbar spine. Exhale to lean backwards, making a diagonal shape with the body and really feeling the strength in the quads and the core as you lean backwards, keeping the straight line with the body. Then inhale to come forward, opening up the chest, keep the lumbar spine straight, tuck the toes under, and exhale, bring your hands forward and roll over into your Malasana yogi squat. Perfect. Inhale and exhale, let the bum be heavy. Inhale, let's roll forward, knees to the floor, palms facing downwards, relax the toes. And then exhale, let's lean backwards, Finding that engagement in the core, keeping the spine nice and straight. You'll really feel the quads and the glutes here. Let's take a full breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale to lift and then open the chest. Keep the lumbar spine straight, keep the glutes engaged as you open the chest. And then tuck the toes under, exhale. Let's find our way back smoothly, smoother than me, into our Malasana squat. You can bring your palms together. Let's take a full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's come forward, rolling over the toes, releasing the feet behind you, palms facing downwards. And exhale, let's lean backwards. Nice straight line, engaging through quads, keeping the lumbar spine straight. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lifting through the chest, opening the upper back, keeping the glutes and lumbar spine strong. And then exhale, toes over and back into Malasana. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bum is heavy. Inhale, rolling over. Palms face down, toes release. Exhale. Find the line. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming forwards, opening the upper back, keeping that lumbar spine straight. Engage your glutes. And then exhale, tuck the toes under and rock over to the back of the mat into your Malasana squat. 2 breaths, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Place your hands to the mat and now walk them forwards, getting ready for your down dog. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Let's keep the knees wide. Let's keep the knees bent as we inhale and come up into a down dog with bent knees. Maybe your heels are on the floor, maybe not. Allow wherever your heels are, allow your feet to be wider than your hips now. And come into kind of duck feet as your toes go outwards and your heels come inwards. Lengthen through the spine, soften the neck and head, strengthen through the hands and press them in towards the floor. And then tilt through the hips and keep the bend in the legs. So this is a really nice variation if you suffer from lower back pain of your down. This is a nice variation of down dog if you suffer from lower back pain or experience cycles in your practice and life where lower back pain gives you troubles. So this is a very nice alternative. You can return to it anytime. Knees are bent. Now you can either stay here, or if you want to find your traditional down dog, you'll bring your feet to be hip width apart now, and let's pedal, bending and stretching, alternating, and then bringing the feet to stillness, finding your down dog. Maybe straightening into the legs now, certainly tilting through the hips, certainly drawing belly button in towards spine, and pressing the tops of the hip bones up towards the ceiling. Last full breath here, inhale, exhale. On the inhalation, lift up your heels, come onto the balls of the feet, look in towards your chest as you wave forwards. Over your weight, over your hands, and then let's exhale, make the chest vulnerable and press back. Let's wave 5 times here. So this will be the second. Inhale, waving forwards, and exhale. Third time, inhale, trying to find that fluidity in the spine, and exhale. Fourth time, inhale, and exhale. And fifth time, really feel the strength in your fingertips as you come forwards and control the press back from the fingertips. Keep the knees bent here. Bring your quads close in towards your belly. Exhale. Inhale, come forwards, keep the knees bent and lower them towards the floor, coming into a tabletop, but with your knees hovering off the floor. Engage your your straight arm scapula, horseshoe shape. So pressing the shoulder blades a little bit up towards the ceiling, doming into the upper back, and then rotating the upper arms outwards, pressing hands into the floor. Inhale, let's find that bent leg down dog. Exhale, let's hover knees. Inhale, press the floor away, lengthen through spine. And exhale. We're going to do this once more. Inhale, quads to belly. And exhale. Now inhale, step back into your plank. Let's hold 2 breaths here. Keep engaging through the rhomboids, through the tendons and muscles that join your shoulder blades. Press your thighs together here. And then exhale to slowly lower. Bringing your belly onto the mat and bringing your hands close in towards your waist. Heel of the hands in towards the waist, elbows pointing back. Engage your glutes and really reach into your toe tips. On the next inhalation, lift your head, your neck and head up, and press your hands into the floor, and then lift your legs up as your glutes are super engaged. Bring your elbows in close towards the body and keep offering the chest forward. So this variation in the locust is a wonderful way to feel into the strength in your lumbar spine. So you're engaging your lower back muscles and your glutes. And so if you battle with back pain, working through cobra or up dog, you need to engage more through your glutes. You need to squeeze more through your thighs, and you need to make sure that your lumbar spine is fully engaged. So you lengthen through the lumbar spine and you don't compress in the lumbar spine. Let's exhale to release. Sliding the hands forward, bringing them in line with the breastbone, just a bit back from the shoulders. Engage your glutes and press the tops of your feet in towards the floor. Lift your patella up, lifting your knees away from the floor. Exhale. Inhale, let's lift up, coming into a traditional cobra. So from here, you want to feel as though you draw your hands back towards your waist, even though they stay where they are. You roll the shoulders back, elbows come in, and then you can, if you battle with your lower back pain, when you come into a cobra or up dog, don't try to look up towards the ceiling. Look down towards the floor and focus on lengthening the spine, lengthening through the back of the neck, lengthening through the top of the head. This will help you to not compress in your lower back. Exhale, release. Open the hands out wide now, doming fingers up. We've done this a few times in our sessions in the last few weeks. Very nice variation. Inhale to lift, and now as you bring yourself up, bend your elbows and tuck your elbows in towards the body. Engage your glutes and don't look up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the back of the neck and then roll your shoulders down. You should not feel any pain here in the lower back as you lengthen through the lower back and you don't compress. You can roll the belly up in towards the spine here as well. Exhale to lower. Let's do that a second time. Inhale to lift. So you're coming into quite an intense back bend in many respects, but keeping the back of the neck straight, engaging your glutes, activating the lumbar spine, and drawing elbows in towards body. Check that your elbows are always slightly bent so that you're not hanging on your joints. And then exhale to lower. Perfect. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, exhale, push back. Let's find bum towards heels, and then inhale to come up to your down dog. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last exercise here. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, bring your knees towards the floor. Let them touch the floor and tuck the toes under. Hands are under the shoulders, fingers are spread. Draw belly button in towards spine and really dome in the upper back and dome in the spine as you engage your glutes and engage between the thighs. Inhale to lift your knees off the floor, keeping the tops of the feet on the floor, and then try to draw the knees and quads in towards the belly as much as possible. Exhale to release. All this is super relieving for your spine. You can let your knees hover. Inhale to lift, dome in, round in. Exhale. If you feel like your hands are a little far away, you can even bring them a little bit closer. Let's do that. Inhale, dome. Exhale, let's hover. Inhale, dome. Really rounding into that spine and engaging the core, which is going to help your lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This will be our last one. Keep that full engagement. Inhale. And exhale. Lower your knees, tuck the toes under, and then sit back in a malasana at the back of the mat. Let's bring the hands together, yogi squat. Make the bum nice and heavy as you press the knees back through the upper arms, making the chest vulnerable, lifting through the spine. So any movement where you're opening the hips out and finding traction between earthing through the base of the body and opening the hips out is going to relieve lower back pain or sciatic nerve pain. And then walk the hands forward. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Inhale, look forwards towards your hands and walk your feet to the front of the mat. Exhale to fold in. Bend your knees if you need to here, so don't try and straighten the legs if that feels too much for you. And then inhale, let's roll up vertebra by vertebra. Taking your time, full awareness of the spine. Coming to stand at the top of the mat. Opening the legs out, let's do 3 nice releasing breaths, as is our theme of non-possessiveness. Let's use the exhalation to release anything we've brought with us to the mat today. So feet are wide, toes pointing outwards, heels slightly inwards, knees are bent. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, out the mouth. So you can make an audible sigh. Inhale to lift. And exhale. We do 5. Inhale to lift. This will be the second. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Fill the body up with life. Exhale to release whatever you need to let go of. Last one. Inhale to lift. Find that releasing breath. Exhale. Inhale to lift again. Straighten the legs and bring them together at the front of the mat. Let's flow through 2 or 3 Surya Namaskar. Palms together, look up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the upper back. Engage the glutes, engage the lumbar spine. Let's open the chest. And then exhale, let's open the arms out. Swan dive from here. Inhale, straight back, straight legs. Exhale, stepping back into your plank. From here, I'm going to move through Chaturanga and Up Dog to explain. If you need to go on your knees and use 8-limb pose and gentle cobra, please do so. From here, coming onto the tips of the toes, exhale, tucking your elbows in towards the chest, lifting and lengthening through the top of the head, and then inhale, coming into your Up Dog with fully engaged glutes and feeling the pressure between the thighs as you look down towards the floor, lengthening the back of the neck and engaging the lumbar spine to take away that compression and pressure. From here, piking, exhale, down dog. Another full breath here, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, looking forwards, walking your feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, let's fold in. Inhale, let's rise. and exhale. Inhale, let's lengthen, offering the upper chest forwards and backwards, keeping lumbar spine straight. And then exhale, tilt from the hips, swan dive. Inhale, straight back, straight legs, bending into the knees, stepping back. I'm not going to do any jumping for protection of the lower back today, but if that's in your practice, go straight ahead. Let's exhale into the chaturanga, elbows in, press between the heels, between the legs, reach through the top of the head. Inhale, let's find the up dog, pressing between the thighs, looking down towards the floor, actively lengthening through the spine, actively drawing belly button in to avoid compression. Exhale, down dog. 2 breaths, inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, looking forwards, walking the feet to the front of the mat. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, let's rise. And exhale. Inhale, let's lengthen, offering the upper chest and upper back, lumbar spine straight. Exhale, engaging glutes, tilting from hips. Inhale, straight back, straight legs, bending in the knees, stepping back into plank. On your next exhalation, chaturanga, reaching through the top of the head, already engage the glutes, already engage the lumbar spine, lengthen the back of the neck, draw belly button in, avoid compression, pushing the floor away, and then bringing those heels together and tilting through the hips, down dog. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, looking forwards, and then exhale, walking to the front of the mat, folding in. Inhale, let's rise. This will be the last Surya Namaskar. Exhale. Inhale, let's lengthen, opening the upper back, protecting the lower spine, and then exhale. Inhale, straight back, straight legs, bending through the knees, plank. Let's find the lowering of the chaturanga on the exhalation. Pause here as you engage through the glutes and legs. Inhale. Let's transition into that variation of the up dog with the lengthened back of the neck, engaging into the glutes to ensure that the lumbar spine is also engaged. And then let's tilt down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, looking forwards, walking the feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, let's rise. Exhale. Pushing your left foot into the floor. On the next inhalation, lift up your right leg. Bring it first to a 90-degree angle. Bring your right hand over the right knee and draw belly into spine. Engage left glute and press the inner line of the left foot in towards the floor. If you have the range to go further, to draw that knee right in towards the chest, then please do so. If you have range to come into a bind, please do so. So 3 options there. Left glute super engaged, left knee pressing back into the soft part of the back of the knee, left big toe engaged. Last breath here, inhale. Exhale, feel the traction and release through the lower spine. Inhale to release that leg from wherever it was, and exhale, let's come into a helicopter balance, arms out, right leg back. Activate the inner line of the right leg as you close the right hip towards the floor and reach through the top of the head. Draw belly button in. Make sure that you aren't arching through the middle of the back or lower of the back here. Spine is long and straight. Exhale. On the inhalation, stand up and sweep that right leg forward, bringing it up and holding it here as you draw the belly button in and roll the shoulders back. Maybe you reach up with the hands, doesn't matter how high the leg is. All of this mobility, movement, and strengthening over the hips will help with lower back pain. Exhale. Last breath here, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bend that leg again. This time we're coming into a twist, bringing your left hand over the right knee, right arm back, and your right leg at a 90-degree angle. So coming into a nice twist, offering the right palm out towards the side, offering the chest out towards the side, keeping left knee and glute engaged. Maybe you want to look behind you to test the balance. Last breath here, inhale. Exhale. Inhale to release, look forwards. Exhale, let's step back to set up for our warrior one. So let's have the feet slightly closer than they usually would for warrior one to protect the lower back. Nice adjustment to remember. Let's tilt the chest and the hips towards the front of the mat, pressing into the back knee and pressing into the back heel as you then inhale, bring the arms up alongside the ears. So conventionally, you're going to come into a slight back bend to come into your full warrior one. If you want to avoid that, you are just a bit under that 90-degree angle in the front leg, and you are engaging through the lumbar spine. So drawing belly button in and almost feeling as though you're pressing the natural arch of your lumbar spine back slightly. So all of this is core engagement to protect lower back. Last breath here, inhale, exhale. Inhale, allow yourself to swivel towards the right front corner of the mat, engaging through your hands and elbows. Inhale, exhale. Let's come into humble warrior on the inside of that left leg. Bring your arms overhead, feeling a lovely release in the shoulders. Neck is heavy and long. Make sure that that right back leg is still strong, keeping the balance here, allowing you to be soft through the neck and head, not having to strain. Last full breath here. Nice relief for the lower back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, looking forward, releasing your hands. Let's just take 2 breaths here, bringing your hands under your shoulders and then reaching them as far forward towards that right corner as you can. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to stand up, and straighten that front leg as you hook that back right leg, and then release your hands, setting up for Trikonasana. Engage your glutes, draw belly into spine. Inhale. On the next exhalation, we're first going to go into the reverse Trikonasana as we stretch the whole of the left side of the body and keep that torso perfectly side on to the mat as you lengthen and soften through the neck, maybe looking up towards the ceiling on the inside of that left arm. So this is a nice thing to do before your Trikonasana to ensure you have a lock in glutes and lower back. Now inhale to come up to a neutral, and then exhale to reach towards the left, coming into your Trikonasana to the left side, looking up towards the right arm and engaging the glutes as you tilt that top right hip backwards and bottom left hip forwards, making your chest and torso vulnerable to the side of the mat. Let's take another full breath here. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the right hand on the right hip, then into the left knee. Exhale, get earthy. You know where this is going. This is your half moon balance. Use the strength of the inhalation to lift up, coming into the balance. Back foot and toes are very, very much engaged, like a ninja kick. And then the top arm goes up once again. Maybe you're comfortable and you're playing with your balance, bringing the left hand to the chest. Maybe you need that hand on the floor, even on a block. Keep reaching through the top of the head and try to fire up both inner lines of the legs. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bend into that left knee, bringing that foot behind you as far as you can, and then sweeping your attention right to the back of the mat. Let's get off that left hip. You're now at the back of the mat, coming into the lizard shape at the back of the mat. So hands underneath your shoulders. That right foot is going out towards the side, making space for hands under the shoulders, either staying here or coming onto your elbows, if that's accessible to you. Wherever you are, maybe you want to rock from side to side and just open up and give relief for that left hip. This is another sciatic nerve and lower back relieving pose as well. Just allowing yourself to rock from side to side. Coming to still the body on the inhalation, lifting the chest up, bringing hands back under the shoulders, pressing your left hand into the floor. Inhale, easy revolve side angle. Make the right knee super engaged, draw to your chest. Relax your neck, open the chest. Exhale, inhale. On the exhalation, sweep that right hand overhead and then sweep your way to the front of the mat. So we're going to come into some low skandasana movement here. For lower back protection, which is our whole theme and intention today, you must keep your hands on the floor to guide you here. So you still keep your hips low, but hands on the floor for guidance. And try to make the movement super nice and smooth. So the attention just shifts to protecting the lower spine. That doesn't mean that you don't get a nice strengthening and opening effect through the postures. Let's return to the front of the mat. So that's the left knee bent, right knee straight. Inhale to sit up in your seat, pressing the top of the right toes in towards the floor. Roll the shoulders back, open your chest. Palms, my palms are in Anjali Mudra, so palm to palm in front of the chest. Try to find your balance here. Pressing both feet into the floor, reaching through the top of the head. Roll that pelvic floor up and under, protect your lumbar spine. Let's take another 2 full breaths here. Last full breath, inhale. Exhale, bringing both hands to the floor. Inhale, coming towards the center for a standing wide leg forward bend with a difference. So toes pointing in, heels pointing out. Bend your knees, tilt through the hips, and then reach as far forwards as you can. As far forwards and away from your feet as you can. This is a super lower back relieving pose. Neck is soft, back is long, shoulders are soft. You should feel very light through the upper body. Feel as though there's a pendulum balance here between the weight of the head and the intention to lift and press the hips backwards. It should be super relieving. Let's take another 2 full breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, look forward, sweep your hands underneath your shoulders and then hook the heels in, toes out. Inhale to come up into the goddess pose. Knees out, roll the pelvic floor under, and let's do that exact same movement, our first movement of the class, which was draw tailbone down, base of spine down to the floor, rolling pelvic floor up and under, belly in. Lovely. Arms out into your cactus arms, spreading the fingers, goddess pose. So that you really should feel more engagement through the glutes and the hamstrings, not just hanging on the quads and the hip joints, the minute you roll that pelvic floor up and under. Let's take another exhalation here. Inhale to lengthen. Let's exhale to release. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to release. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to release. Inhale to lengthen, swivel to the front of the mat. So you're over that left foot, opening up the chest, but not arching the spine. So don't compress. Lengthen, engage the glutes. and open the upper back, and then tilting from the hips, exhale, coming forwards over that left leg. Place your hands on blocks if you need them, otherwise hands on the floor. Try to keep both knees straight, even if that means that you're using blocks or hands on the shin. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in, and then sweep your hands back towards your back foot. So if your hands aren't quite on the floor, or if they're still on blocks, that's fine. Elevated arms, also fine. Exhale. And then bringing your hands onto blocks or onto the floor, come on, dome into the heel of the hand, press fingers into the floor, and then bend into that back leg. So you're still in the same shape of hands behind your front left leg. Now round into the upper back, round into the lumbar spine, draw belly button in. Our movement for today. Exhale, and then inhale, and try and hook that right knee in towards your chest. Press between the thighs and hold it there as you keep the weight moving into the really back of that left heel. And you're using your fingertips to help with the balance. So the further back your hands are, and the further the tilt backwards is, obviously the more core engagement and work you're doing. Last breath, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale to release that foot. Lovely. Place hands on the floor, either side of that front left foot, and then let's step back into the down dog. Exhale. Either stay here in your down dog, or let's wave through a vinyasa of your choice. Finding your chaturanga, maybe it's a low cobra. If you find your up dog, why not lengthen the back of the neck and protect your spine, engaging through the glutes, engaging through the legs, and then tilting through the hips. We all need back and down dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, looking forwards, walk the feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold in. Let's stay here for another 5 breaths in a lovely standing forward bend. So you can either hook middle and index fingers into in and around the big toes, elbows out, neck soft and long, or maybe you're holding onto the back of your calves, or even the back of your thighs, finding traction where you can, tilting through the hips, bringing weight right forwards onto the balls of the feet, as though you could topple over at any second. Neck is soft. Maybe do a yes, yes, no, no movement with the neck. Last breath, inhale and exhale. And then let's inhale and come up. You can either roll up or reverse dive up to you. And exhale. Let's do the other side, pressing your right foot into the floor. Inhale to lift up with the left leg at a right angle. First, bringing left hand over left knee, right big toe strong, inner line of right foot strong. If you can go further with your exhalation, draw that knee up towards your chest. But if you do that, make sure that you aren't compromising with a straight spine, so you're still standing up straight. If it's in your practice, you're going to find your bind now. But otherwise, just keep holding onto that left knee with your left hand. Wherever you are, you're really focusing on opening the chest and standing up nice and straight, right glute engaged. Exhale. Last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to release your hand wherever it is, and then exhale to kick back into your helicopter balance. Here, arms out alongside in the shoulders, and just tilting that left hip to face the floor, and really finding your ninja kick on the left side. So meaning fully engaged inner line of the leg, fully engaged ball of the foot and toes, reaching through the top of the head. Last breath here, inhale Exhale. Inhale as you sweep the left leg forward and draw it in front of you, bringing arms up if that suits. Really engaging into the quads here, engaging into the glutes, using the core. No chance of arching the lower spine, and testing our hip mobility and strength. Last full breath, inhale and exhale. And from here, bringing your left leg up again. This is nearly finished with this. And we're doing the twist. So right hand over left knee as you sweep the left arm back and open the torso towards the left side. Make sure your left toes and foot are fully engaged as you open towards the side. Left hand offering backwards. Exhale. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. Inhale, facing forward. Exhale, stepping back. Let's get ready for our warrior one. So back foot at a 45-degree angle, feet a little bit closer than usual. Back knee super strong, back heel super strong. And then once you find your shape, engage, press between the thighs and lengthen the lumbar spine. And then inhale to reach up. So you're not deepening into the posture quite as much as you open front arm to the front of the mat and feel more engagement in the mula bandh here, more engagement through the inner line of the legs. Another full breath, inhale and exhale. Last breath here, inhale, exhale. Releasing the hands, sweeping them behind your back, interlocking the fingers, opening the chest to the front left side of the mat, and then exhale, coming forward into your humble warrior, arms overhead. Back left leg, very much keeping the pressure, keeping the tension in the body in that back leg where you can press it down into the earth and hold it. Let the shoulders and the neck be soft. Last full breath here, inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift your head up enough to sweep your hands behind you and to release them, bringing them underneath your shoulders first and then reaching them far forwards as you soften the neck and dome up in the heel of the hand, fingertips to the floor. Legs remain just as strong, same alignment with the legs. Another full breath here, inhale, exhale. Inhale to come up, straightening into that front right leg and then hooking the back left leg, aligning yourself with the Trikonasana. We do the reverse first, engage the glutes, side onto the mat as much as you can. Inhale to arch backwards, exhale. Keep yourself side onto the mat, lock your knees as well as your glutes, neck is soft. Last breath here, inhale, exhale. Inhale, let's come to neutral and then exhale to reach towards the right as much as you can before bringing that left arm overhead, opening the chest towards the front. Check that your knees are fully engaged. And keep drawing the left side body and hip backwards as the right tilts forwards. Let's take another full breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, left hand comes on left top hip. Exhale, bend into the knees to get earthy. Your right hand is free. And when you're ready, using the power of the inhalation, let's find our half moon balance. Releasing into that top left arm when you're ready. For balance, I always like to keep the elevated leg slightly inwards. So draw it in towards the left hand ever so slightly. Helps with the balance. And then if you did it on the one side, do on the other to lift that bottom hand. Last breath here, inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale to bend in that front knee, pressing into the back foot, and then sweep your way to the back, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. We're totally relieving the right hip now as we come into the half lizard. So come onto your elbows if that's accessible to you, wherever your arms are, whether straight or bent. We can now work into the hips, bring a bit of movement and tension release. It's a nice practice to keep the back knee elevated, but of course, if you are feeling a bit fatigued, then grounding the back knee will give some release. And come to still the body, and then inhale to bring hands underneath shoulders, bringing that foot in, right hand on the inside of the left foot. Inhale to lift up with the left arm, easy revolved side angle. Really getting that chest side on, back leg super strong. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, bring that arm overhead and then start to sweep into your Skandasana, alternating in your own time and protecting your lower back by pawing your hands to the floor. So make the movement nice and smooth and use your hands to ensure you don't hold the pose or hold tension in the lower back. Finding your way to the front of the mat, so it's bending into the right leg, straightening into the left, pressing the left toes in towards the floor and bringing the palms together in front of the chest and sitting up nice and straight. Finding your balance here. Just becoming aware of the soles of the feet, the toes, what areas of the soles of the feet and the toes are touching the floor now. Your only contact with the floor. Press down and make best space of what does touch the floor. Last full breath here, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to lift, coming into your wide leg, standing forward bend, toes in, heels out. Bend into the knees. We first come into this relieving variation as you reach your hands forward as far as you can. Knees super bent, bum heavy as it presses backwards and upwards. Either staying here if you need that relief in the lower back, or straightening through the legs now, drawing the hands around your ankles or your calves and coming into more active bend and stretch into your hamstrings, pressing your elbows out, making room in the chest to breathe more deeply and feeling the heaviness now through the top of the head as that draws down towards the floor. It's in your practice to go into an inversion from here. You are more than welcome, whether it's a headstand or a forearm headstand. You have the opportunity now. For the rest of us, we're going to stay here in the standing forward bend. We've got 5 full breaths. Exhale. Weight coming right onto the tips of the toes. Coming into the last 2 full cycles of breath. Inhale to lift your head up, bringing your hands underneath the shoulders, bend into your knees, hook the heels in. Exhale, and then inhale to stand up into your goddess pose. Roll the pelvic floor up and under. Base of the spine goes down, energetically down towards the floor, and elbows up alongside shoulders. Sit down, get earthy, very empowering posture. Breathing deep and full. From here, we're going to keep this pose and we're going to move through a round of 30 Kapalabhati. So that's the forced exhalation as the diaphragm moves down and you force the exhalation out the body. The inhalation is just neutral. So it's just like a neutral, unthought of or unforced inhalation. So let's do that together and it's out the nose. Inhale. Let's begin. Inhale to stand up, lengthen and stretch. Let's do that a second time. Exhale, stay with straight legs. Inhale. Exhale, let's refine the goddess. Inhale. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale, reach up, swivel over that front right leg. Really be front onto the mat, engage the glutes. Lengthen, open the upper back and try and strengthen the lower back along with the glutes. And then exhale, let's tilt forwards. Bringing the hands alongside that foot, finding hands on blocks or books if you need them. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale to fold in. Then sweep your hands back towards your back left foot. Engage more deeply into your pyramid pose. And then when you're ready, start to press into your fingertips, then into the back left leg. Remember to draw belly into spine and dome into your back, upper back. And then using the inhalation, lift the leg up and hold it. Try and lean back into that right heel. Try and really make the magnetic energy between left heel, left bum cheek. Last breath, inhale, exhale. Release the left foot, sweep the hands forward. Let's step back into a down dog. Same story as before. Either stay in your down dog or find a child pose or flow through your vinyasa with me. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, lowering down. Pause. Inhale. Look down towards the floor, lengthen the spine, engage glutes, engage between the thighs, belly in, and then exhale, down dog. Inhale, exhale. Let's take another releasing breath here, inhale, and inhale, looking forward, exhale, bringing your knees to the floor. Sweeping your feet out towards the side. Let's find a nice twist. The best twist of all, totally subjective, but I find this the most relieving for any spinal discomfort. So my right leg is the lower leg, left leg is over the right, both bum cheeks on the floor. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to twist towards the left side. Left hand on the floor behind you, as far around towards the right as is comfortable to you. And then inhale to lift up with the right arm. Exhale to release that right arm over the left knee and come into your twist. Option one is to keep the right hand active and open, looking back and behind you. Or perhaps you're finding your bind, Bringing that arm underneath the knee, clasping the hands behind your back. Wherever you are, you're drawing the shoulders away from each other, drawing the elbows away from each other, pressing the chest to the side, keeping the knee nice and close. Try and soften your gaze, try and soften your neck. So it makes no difference whether you look towards the side or far, far back. Often just creates more tension in the body. So find the right tilt of the neck for you. And then when you're ready, exhale to counter your gaze, looking over your right shoulder now. Last breath here, inhale and exhale. Releasing into your hands. Moving your left leg from out of the other, back from the other side of your right knee, and then bringing your hands on the side of your body. So there's two options. Both will be relieving for the lower back. First option is to stay on your bum and bring both your hands to be side on alongside the mat, spreading your fingers and just pressing back on that left knee with your right upper arm, opening your chest towards the side. So it's a variation on the twist, right? Option one. Option two is to come into the Kundalini A from there. So it's to come up on the top of your right shin, hands shoulder width apart, and then lift your hips up enough to bring your left glute to the left, so your left glute or outer hip to the left elbow, and then start to reach through the top of your head, making your legs nice and light. And then when you're ready, kick them out, engaging through the balls of the feet. So you really need to find that shelf in your left leg. So you using the left elbow on the left glute, using the right elbow just behind that left knee, and you've got to lift and lengthen through the top of the head as well as keep the toes and feet active. Great. So bringing your bum back onto the mat, and before we do the other side, we're going to straighten out the left leg. So bring your hands around the toes, or maybe you're grabbing a scarf or a strap if your hammies are tight. You're going to press your tailbone into the floor, press your lumbar spine in to keep it nice and straight. So after all the slight doming, with the lengthening of the leg now, we're going to have to keep it straight by pressing forwards. So feel through that difference as you press the outer part of the right foot and leg into the floor. Inhale to lengthen. So the key is to try and keep the back nice and straight. Open the elbows out and bring your leg to meet the torso rather than torso to meet the leg. Try as much as you can to press into the middle and upper back. Try not to round it into it and fall backwards. Last full breath here, inhale and exhale. Let's release that leg. Let's do the other side. Bringing your left leg as the lower leg, the side, top side of that left thigh to the left side of the mat, and right leg over left. Bum cheeks to the floor, right arm sweeps around, right hand as far around towards the left as possible. That's your exhalation. Inhale to lift and lengthen with the left arm, and then exhale to find your Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's a nice practice to press your elbow and upper arm of the backhand, in this case, of the back arm, in this case the right, into the spine to keep it nice and straight. Maybe you're finding your bind. If you did it on one side, find it on the other, and then look over your back shoulder. Nice full deep breathing as you try not to strain into the face. Try to keep the gaze steady without effort. And then when you're ready, countering your gaze now, looking over your left shoulder, same effect, not straining to look over the left shoulder in any way. Last 2 breaths here. And then exhale to release. And then bringing the right foot on the front side of that left knee, setting ourselves up for Vinyasa A. First option is to just come into another twist. So I'll do it this way so it's more visible in the camera. So you are twisting towards the right side of the mat, left elbow on the outside of the right knee. So this is option 1. A variation twist should give relief in the middle and lower back. Option 2 is to press into the top of the left shin, lifting the hips up, and then bringing your hands shoulder width apart, palms on the floor parallel with the right side of the mat. Lift your hips up enough to bring your right glute on the right elbow, right back of the knee on the left elbow. Reach through the top of the head, engage through the toes, and make those legs nice and strong to keep your balance. So it's all about finding that shelf, lifting, and then even if you don't have that suppleness in the hips, you want to use the exhalation, the breath, to find that back elbow as you reach through the top of the head. Oops, exhale to come in and land again. And now we'll stretch out the right leg, facing the front of the mat again. Strap or fingers around the right toes, pressing the top of the left leg in towards the floor, the bent left leg in towards the floor. Remember to lengthen through the spine and ground and root the base of the spine into the mat. When you're ready, inhale. Sitting up nice and straight. The back is straight, belly into spine. Open elbows out and let the gap be closed through drawing leg in towards back rather than torso or back towards leg. So you don't really want to be leaning forwards or backwards. You want to be sitting up nice and straight. Neck is long, elbows wide to give space for big, deep breaths and for that leg to come in towards forehead. And exhale to release. Beautiful. Lengthen legs out in front of you. Let's stay in Dandasana for a moment. Fingers behind your hips, toes fully engaged, legs nice and straight, roll the shoulders back, lift through the top of the head. Engage through the thighs, engage the patella, press the calves into the floor. Coming towards the end of our practice, option 1 is to stay here for another 3 to 5 breaths and then find your way forward into a sitting forward bend, your Paschimottanasana. If you do that, make sure that you try to offer the chest forward and find the leverage from the hips, not from the upper middle back. Option 2 is to bend the legs just enough to sweep the hips forwards and then roll back. We'll come into a shoulder stand. So those are the 2 options. I'm going to go through a shoulder stand with you and then we'll finish off in a fish. If you were in your sitting forward bend and you want to join us for the fish, that will be a nice combination, a safer, non-inverting combination too. So let's begin. Hands facing down. This is for the shoulder stand. Hands down on either side of the hips. Inhale to lift those legs up. Press your hands into the floor. Exhale. On your next inhalation, Lift the hips up a bit further, lifting them up towards the ceiling, bringing your hands to support your back. Option 1 here, or a first stage to stop if you want to protect your neck, is with your hips bent and you're protecting your lower back, cradling your lower back in your hands. This is not putting any strain in your neck, really. Option from there, if you want to go further, bend your knees, bring your knees to your forehead and bring the weight right over into the shoulders as you bring the elbows close towards each other and walk your hands further up your back, further towards the shoulders, and then straighten. Once you've found your edge here, soften into your face, soften the jaw. Maybe close your eyes. Try and engage the glutes a little bit to help straighten and lengthen through the front of the hips, your hip flexors. Focus on your breath, let the mind be nice and calm. And when you're ready, start to come down, pressing the tops of the hands on the floor and controlling the movement as much as you can, keeping those legs straight and working through each vertebra in the spine, bringing yourself back to the mat and then lengthening your legs out. We'll come into the fish now. So if you're in your sitting forward bend, you're welcome to lie back and join us. First, going to make space for your hands underneath your bum, interlocking your fingers, and then wriggling around to bring your elbows and arms close into each other behind the back. Then spread your fingers, flatten your hands on the mat, and lengthen and straighten your legs out. Hands close, as close towards the knees as you can. Spread your hands, press the palms and fingers into the floor, press your elbows into the floor, exhale. On the inhalation, with that same engagement in hands and elbows, lift your chest up, lifting your neck and your head off the floor, and then slowly and carefully bring the crown of the head, the very top of the head, back onto the mat. Keep pressing your elbows into the mat and let that help in the leverage that you need to lift the chest up. And imagine as though you have gills through your chest now, and your breath comes right in and out of the solar plexus, out of the rib cage, a direct line to the lungs, breathing full and expansive. Last 2 cycles of breath here. And then let the elbows slide outwards, relax the head, soften the head, release the hands from underneath the bum, and interlock your hands behind the back of the skull. Lift your head up, and you can just massage the back of the neck as you rotate from side to side and look from side to side. Coming towards the end of our practice now. As you relax your head down, and we can finish off the happy baby, lifting your feet up, a pose we do often, a pose that is incredibly good for your lower back. So you're going to press the tailbone in towards the floor, feet up, soles of the feet towards the ceiling, hands feeling the outside of your feet. Press into the tops of the feet and the outside of the feet to bring your knees down alongside the rib cage as you continue to press your tailbone in towards the mat. And if you want full relief for tension in lower back, don't rock, rather stay still and focus on the engagement, the magnetic force between as lower in the spine, as low down towards the buttocks, pressing into the mat as possible, and pulling on your feet, drawing knees in towards the side body without scrunching or straining into the neck and shoulders. Taking 3 big breaths here. Let's make them releasing breaths. So breathing into the belly through the nose, and then audible exhalation off the back of the mouth. Inhale through the nose, and inhale through the nose, and then release your feet, and you can slide and slither into your final relaxation, into your corpse pose, your Shavasana. Palms facing upwards, lengthening the back of the neck, toes pointing outwards, heels inwards. Let's take a moment to engage the glutes and lift the hips off the floor, and then draw your hips away from the shoulders a little bit, and then replace your glutes on the floor. That will just lengthen through the lower spine. And then we can do the same with the arms, same movement. So lifting the hands off the floor, reach away from your shoulders, right through the fingertips, pressing your arms away from the shoulders, and then exhale, release them back onto the mat. And then I invite you to close your eyes. Draw the attention in towards your breath as you observe the flow of the breath here, that automated rhythm, inhalation and exhalation, as it falls, as it is. And as we sink into our relaxation, give our bodies this gift of stillness and release, we can keep in mind 2 things. One is that we do not have to fill silences and stillness with anything. And the second is that right now, right here, we are completely safe, and there is nowhere else and nothing else, nowhere else to go and nothing else to do for these few moments. You've given yourself this time. Let us disengage from the pressures of the day and let go. If you feel particularly tense, you feel agitated, itching for the relaxation to end, I invite you on your exhalation to say to yourself in your mind, I let go. I let go. I let go. I let go. When you're ready, you can move your fingers and toes. And if it feels nice for you and it's part of your routine, stretch your arms above your head and take a lovely deep breath in, lengthening your body. And then in your own time, come up to a seated position facing forwards. I invite you to bring your hands up in front of your heart, but instead of pressing your palms together in a Jali Mudra, I invite you to cup them, palms facing up towards the ceiling, fingers soft, slightly rounded in. And I'm going to say a mantra 3 times. If it suits you, you can just listen, or if you would like, you can repeat the words in your own mind after me. I forgive, heal, and release everything that consciously or unconsciously could delay or block the complete evolution of my being. I forgive, heal, and release everything that consciously or unconsciously could delay or block the complete evolution of my being. Third and last time. I forgive, heal, and release everything that consciously or unconsciously could delay or block the complete evolution of my being. And bringing the palms together, and join me in a single universal vibration that joins us all. Inhale. Thank you for joining me this evening. May you go in peace and may you walk through life lightly. Namaste.